You've reached the Los Angeles Police Department, Hollywood Community Police Station. Hollywood Station officer, how can I help you?
Hi, who am I speaking with?
Officer Ho?
Officer Ho? How's that spelled? H-O?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Johnny. I had a quick question for you. I wanted to know, is it the policy of the LAPD to fire a handgun into oncoming traffic on a busy freeway with no regard to the general public, or is that standard protocol? Welcome to the LAPD training video of what not to do when handling firearms. I don't claim to know very much regarding firearms, but I do know the absolute basics of firearm safety.
You know everything there is to know about firearm safety. And what is rule number one?
Rule number one is treat every firearm as if it's loaded at all times, no matter what.
Let's move on to rule number two.
Never aim your firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy.
I call it common sense.
Exactly, common sense.
Rule number three, Tori.
Always keep your finger off the trigger until you have your sights lined up on the target and you're ready to shoot. Which brings us to the next rule.
Rule number four.
Yeah.
Always be sure what is beyond your target.
Let's watch the LAPD let feelings and adrenaline get the best of them. Without further ado, here is the Los Angeles Police Department, Hollywood Division, officer-involved shooting.
Hello, I'm Josh Rubenstein, the Public Information Director for the Los Angeles Police Department. This critical incident community briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in Hollywood Division in the city of Los Angeles on November 18th, 2018. You're about to see relevant video footage and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to this case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The LAPD conducts very thorough use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We're still at the very early stages of this investigation, which can often take up to a year to complete, and our understanding of this incident may change as this additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and information you're about to see may be disturbing. When a police officer uses force to arrest a suspect or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch.
Let me know if this officer was defending against an attack. Okay, let's just put that on the table.
In addition, there may be strong language used by those shown in the video. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
And Snowflake.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Kevin Bronner of Media Relations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm going to give you a brief overview of an incident that began on November 18, 2018 at around 3:42 p.m. Officers from Hollywood Division were patrolling around the area of Western Avenue and Santa Monica Boulevard when they observed a black Range Rover with no license plates. According to officer statements, the Range Rover was being driven erratically. Next, you will see digital in-car video.
According to officer statements, will they show any of this video?
These are cameras mounted on the windshield of all patrol vehicles. They are activated automatically with the lights and siren. They can also be manually activated. The digital in-car video used by the LAPD has a 2-minute buffer video without audio. So, when the in-car camera is activated, it goes back 2 minutes and starts recording without audio. You will see the officers attempting to get behind the Range Rover to conduct a traffic stop. As they move in behind the vehicle, the Range Rover drives into the rear end of the vehicle that was stopped in front of it at a very slow speed. The officers attempt a traffic stop. The driver of the Range Rover ignores the officer's commands and drives away. The officers broadcast that they are in vehicle pursuit. The suspects make a right onto Santa Monica Boulevard and then quickly enter the 101 southbound freeway. The officers pursue the Range Rover until it becomes stuck in traffic and stops. The driver exits the Range Rover and runs away. According to the driver officer's statements, he observes the suspect point a handgun at him as he climbs over the center median. And that's when the officer-involved shooting occurs.
All right, so they're headed north on Western. This is right at the north end of Koreatown in Los Angeles. That is Santa Monica Boulevard up there, the traffic signal to the north. They're going to be making a right-hand turn at that traffic signal, headed east. And then the 101 freeway is just parallel to Western.
Stop the car.
I love the overlays. They look like something right out of 1983, the November 18, 2018.
Range Rovers, turn off the car. Turn it off. Open the door. Let me see your hand. Stop reaching for that. Let me see your hand. Hey, he's reaching in the glove compartment. All right. Driver, open the door. Let me see your hand. Hey, put your hand.
Uh-oh. So now they're on Santa Monica Boulevard, headed eastbound. The 101 freeway is right there. So they're calling for an airship and supervisor. And in true Los Angeles tradition, there's no traffic. So they're headed towards downtown Los Angeles. He didn't use his turn signal. Passing Melrose exit. He didn't point a gun at him.
Hey, one passenger.
The cop just shoots. There's busy traffic on the freeway. The cop just shoots. Has no idea what's behind this guy. Great firearms training there.
Hands up. Put your hands up.
Great firearms discipline.
Help. Officer needs help. Shots fired. I have a man with a gun. He just ran onto the on-ramp with a gun. He's a male, white or Hispanic, with a gray shirt, black pants, carrying a black handgun. Officer needs help. Get your hands up!
His hands are up, you idiot.
Officer needs help. Shots fired. Officer needs help. Shots fired.
Just remember, the shots were fired by the officer, not the suspect.
101 over. Suspect is male, white or Hispanic.
Step out of the
Gray
vehicle.
shirt, black handgun.
Give me your hands where I can see them.
6846. Go to your location.
Open the door from the outside. I'm on southbound 101, just south of Melrose. I'm in the number 1 lane. Face away from me. I need an airship, and I need help.
Because I'm a baby.
Step out, face away from me. Put your hands on the back of your head.
Officer needs help. Southbound
Back of your
101.
head.
South of Melrose. Southbound 101.
Get him on the ground. Get him on the ground.
Number
Get him on the
108.
ground.
Shots fired.
Wow, they don't even know. They're arguing with each other on what to do next.
Howard frequency.
Come down to your stomach. You see us on the freeway. The suspect just ran Put your arms out to your side. southbound. Palms up. I'm sorry, he ran down the northbound on-ramp.
I'm gonna be over. I don't have eyes on you yet. I got Melrose and on ramp.
Hey, throw that guy out. Airship just went down the northbound on-ramp, so he's down that way. No, I don't know.
Down the northbound on ramp.
Are all officers accounted for? All officers accounted for at this time.
All officers accounted for, right? That's all they care about, officer safety, right? But we'll fire shots downrange into oncoming traffic, no problem.
Yes, okay.
Are all the soccer moms in minivans accounted for?
Okay, guys, let's get the perimeter set up here. Let me get all 4 block up to...
You guys have any idea of how many people are on foot in Hollywood? They're trying to set up a perimeter.
Airship, hurry up.
Yeah, guys, hang on a second. Let's try to get some and set up on this here real quick. Let's go from Normandy up to Melrose.
Airship, you ran down that on-ramp, and it looked like you ran southbound. I need a perimeter, please. Can you set that up?
Yeah, you've already asked for that.
The Range Rover also had a passenger identified as Frederick Osorio in the front seat. He was immediately taken into custody. The driver of the Range Rover,
Was he charged with anything, though? That's really the question.
identified as Harut Tarosian, ran into a nearby neighborhood. The involved officers coordinated a perimeter with responding officers to prevent Tarosian from getting away. You will now see body-worn video from both officers. The body-worn cameras used by the LAPD carry a 2-minute buffer of video without audio. So when the body-worn camera is activated, it goes back 2 minutes and starts recording. This is designed to capture incidents that occur suddenly. However, it does not record any sound during these 2 minutes. So you will notice that the first part of the video does not contain audio. The driver officer's body-worn video starts recording after the Range Rover stopped during the traffic stop. After the vehicle pursuit, Tarosian exits the Range Rover and runs across the freeway when an officer-involved shooting occurs. The officer fires 4 rounds from his handgun.
Into oncoming traffic.
The body-worn video gives you a better perspective of the incident. Osorio is taken into custody on the freeway.
Driver, open the door. Let me see your hands. Get those hands. Get it back up. Get it back up. 6846. Santa Monica. Pursuit of a hit-and-run driver.
Pursuit of a hit-and-run driver. He tapped the guy's bumper in front of him because he was distracted with the cop behind him. But anyway.
Southbound 101 from Santa Monica. Southbound 101 from Santa Monica. Southbound 101 from
Southbound 101 from Santa Monica.
In pursuit.
In pursuit. In pursuit.
Exiting Melrose, requesting an airship and a backup.
Little Ford product placement.
Hurry up.
101 southbound. Passing Melrose.
This guy's gonna pull a gun, dude.
This guy's going to pull a gun, dude. So he's already anticipating anything.
Melrose. Vehicle is a black Range Rover paper plate.
What else do we need?
Wow. Look at that. Look at all those cars. Let's watch that again. This is amazing. Wow. The guy didn't point the gun at him, nor did he fire the alleged gun at him either. But let's put 4 rounds downrange into a soccer mom in a minivan.
Yeah.
4 kids. What about the children?
Turn your hands up! 6846 requesting help. Officer needs help. Shots fired. I have a man with a gun. He just ran onto the on-ramp with a gun. He's a male, white or Hispanic, with a gray shirt, black pants, carrying a black handgun. Officer needs help. Get your hands up!
Oh yes, officer needs help. Shots fired, officer needs help.
Is he in there? Okay, start pulling him out.
Male, white, or Hispanic, gray shirt, black handgun. 6846, repeat your location.
6846, I'm on southbound 101, just south of Melrose. I'm in the number 1 lane. I need a perimeter, I need an airship, and I need help.
Step face away from me! Put your hands on the back.
Hey, passenger need help. Southbound 101. Auto Melrose, southbound 101.
Get him on the ground. Get him on the ground.
Number 1 has fired. Any air unit come in on.
Look at that airship. That airship showed up in no time.
Frequency.
Airship, I see you. You see us on the freeway. The suspect just ran on the southbound. I'm sorry, he ran down the northbound on-ramp. I need a perimeter. He just ran down that on-ramp. He's a male armed with a gun.
I got Melrose and the on-ramp.
Hey, prone that guy out. The guy with the gun just ran that way. Get him in custody. I gotta communicate. Get him in custody.
So he's down that way.
Male, white or Hispanic, gray shirt, black pants, black handgun.
Hispanic? Officer accounted for. Officer accounted for at this time, yes.
Okay. I need you guys to hook that guy up.
So these cops are not going to hook him up until the man. This is like some Keystone cops. Like, yeah, put the guy in handcuffs, dude.
Get all the way from Vermont up to.
Hook that guy up, please.
So that's the female pilot of the airship.
Stand by 1 second.
He ran down that on-ramp for him. Go ahead, do with that. Okay. Airship, hurry up.
Airship, are you up? This guy is in such an adrenaline, just horse blinders that he doesn't even know that the airship is up.
Yeah, guys, hang on a second. Let's try to get some containment set up on this here real quick. Let's go from Normandy up to Melrose.
Airship, he ran down that on-ramp and it looked like he ran southbound. I need a perimeter, please. Can you set that up?
Go. You think that the LAPD Hollywood division would know how to do a felony stop, but this is the power of adrenaline. The fact that these guys have to be told to hook them up and handcuff them is mind-numbing. This is probably going to interfere with the relationship between the driver and the passenger, I'm guessing. It could be a deal breaker. Bro, you almost got me shot, bro. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, an oxygen tank? Oh, yeah, baby. Maybe they were going scuba diving. Dude, I want to party with these. Dude, you walk around with an oxygen, or maybe it's nitrous. Who knows? Like, nothing looks more suspicious than that. Insane. These poor people stuck on the freeway, man.
LAPD canine units arrived and assisted with the search. Terosian was located a short distance away by canine officers at 832 North Normandy Avenue and taken into custody.
You got deep, I got this.
So,
Steve's got those. Hold there, hold there.
15.
Look, I got a slicker. Slide that way, slide that way, slide that way. Slide that way.
Pew, 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 pew.
Bring that arrest team up.
Short barrel.
Hey, you gotta make sure this guy doesn't get inside a door or something.
Wonder if he has a blue dot scope, Call of Duty.
Let's just
let's just go ahead. Let's just go at him.
He's got the default camo skin though.
Now. And if he makes a move now, you gotta be ready because there's doors right there, people's doors. Come back here. Come back here. Want this open or yeah? You can open it. Open it. Go ahead and tell him to stand up, Steve. All right, man. Go ahead and stand up. Surrender peacefully, or this dog's gonna come and take you out, man. Show us your hands. Stand up. Show us your hands. Keep your hands up. Call that arrest team up here. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. I'll take you. Come on down. Slide down. Slide down. All the way down. All the way down. Okay. Come on, keep coming. Keep coming. I'll just put him right over here. Step over here. Press this wall. Press this wall.
All this for a hit and run.
Hands behind your head. Sorry, hands behind your head. I'm cooperating. I'll let you guys search him. He's not searched yet. Give me a search team officer. I'm with you. You're good.
During the investigation, a handgun was found on the northbound on-ramp to the freeway in the area that Tarosian ran. Investigators are waiting on the results of forensic tests to determine if this is the gun that he pointed at the officers. During a search of the range...
Did he point it at the officers? Or did he have it in his hand? Let's get some things clear.
Range Rover, a pellet gun was also found on the passenger floorboard. Tarosian was transported to a local hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries to the top of his head and his right torso. Investigators are awaiting results of medical tests to determine if these injuries are the result of graze wounds from bullets. The vehicle that Tarosian drove into was never identified. Harut Tarosian is a 36-year-old resident of Los Angeles. He has been convicted of grand theft, terrorist threats, battery, disturbing the peace, and driving on a suspended driver's license. He is also on probation for grand theft. On November 20, 2018, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office filed 1 count of felony evading, 1 count of a felon in possession of a firearm, 1 count of brandishing a firearm, and 1 count of carrying a loaded firearm. Frederick Osorio is a 26-year-old resident of Los Angeles. He has no convictions. During this investigation, Osorio was linked to a prior robbery that is not related to this incident, and he was booked for robbery that night.
Of course he was.
In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. They'll continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete forensic tests. Now, after the investigation is completed, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. That board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting of a firearm, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. If you'd like more information on how the LAPD and the LA District Attorney's Office investigates all officer-involved shootings and other serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can also find LAPD's use of force policies and procedures. Thanks for taking the time to view this critical incident community briefing.
All right, you guys, so there you have it. When in doubt, fire your weapon, regardless of whether or not you can see what's downrange or behind your target. So just remember, you've got the DA, you've got the state, the federal, you've got everybody behind you. So you can do, all you need to say is that you were scared and in fear of your life. So
you've reached the Los Angeles Police Department, Hollywood Community Police Station.
Hollywood Station Officer, how can I help you?
Hi, who am I speaking with?
Officer Ho?
Officer Ho? How's that spelled? H-O?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Johnny. I had a quick question for you. I wanted to know, is it the policy of the LAPD to fire a handgun into oncoming traffic on a busy freeway with no regard to the general public, or is that standard protocol?
One more time.
So I'm watching. I'm watching. I'm sorry. I had a lot of coffee this morning. I'm watching an incident off of from LAPD from November of 2018, where there was officers followed a Range Rover onto the 101 freeway, and the guy jumped over the median, and apparently he had a handgun on him. He didn't point it at the officer, but the gentleman ran from the southbound number 1 lane. He ran across all of the northbound lanes, and the LAPD Hollywood division officer fired 4 rounds at the suspect while there was oncoming traffic on the freeway. I wanted to know, I mean, that just seems like it goes against a few of the basic firearm safety protocols, but I mean, I don't know much about guns, but I think, you're supposed to know what's behind your target before you decide to engage in a firefight. That's
correct. So our policy is we don't shoot at a moving vehicle unless there's a threat that towards us. So with that situation, I'm not sure what the officers seen or heard or know at the time of the thing.
They were both on foot.
Let's just say.
So the gentleman jumped out of the Range Rover. He hopped the median and ran across a busy freeway, the 101 northbound at Melrose. And apparently he did have a handgun in his hand, but at no time was it pointed at the officer, and the officer fired 4 rounds at the suspect, and he didn't hit him any of the time.
Right. So, but like I said, we don't know I don't know what information was the officer giving at the time. It was did he kill somebody and he's running, or
no? He had no information. It was a hit and run.
I'm not so sure.
They witnessed the Range Rover barely tap a bumper of the car in front of it, so they were calling it a hit and run. I mean, I know that cops would never escalate a call like that, but they called for the airship and the supervisor over the radio based on a hit and run. And so there was no other information of that this guy was involved in a murder or anything else.
Right. So I mean, our policy is there's a lot going on with that situation. I don't know if we don't know. I mean, as a third party looking at the video, we have a lot to say, but at the time of the officers running after a suspect with a firearm, I don't know what they're seeing. So they may see differently than what we see.
Sure.
Typically, we don't shoot somebody from running for, we don't shoot people in the back unless we know certain information. If this is a person that's a murder suspect, or is this if they did a crime that's gonna,
or if it's easily covered up
into another crime, or did they point at the weapon, somehow pointed the weapon, or maybe he's running and then the weapon kind of pointed at the officer and they start shooting. I don't know.
Sure.
So commenting on something that I wasn't there, it wouldn't be fair.
Correct.
And as an officer, I know that there are times that I see things at the scene which other people don't see, and I would take certain actions at the scene which other people thought of oh, well, I could have done differently.
Oh, absolutely.
Things like that.
Yeah, the Monday morning quarterback. Yeah, which I'm not trying to. No, absolutely. No, I'm not.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying.
No, absolutely. People love to do
do
that, but I'm just saying that. I mean, there was busy. There was 3 to 4 lanes. I'm not exactly sure what exactly is on the 101, but I know it's at least 3 lanes northbound at Melrose. But it was busy traffic, and I was just curious if. The guy was running away.
Correct.
So
our policy is they're running away and they're not doing anything. I'm not sure. Like I said, our policy states that we don't, don't typically shoot people in the back, for just for running away with no crime behind it. Of course not. But we also our assessments. We have to do our assessment of background.
So
before we even
who would I contact to find out information since we're going on 3 years plus of this incident? I'm sure that LAPD has done their
media relations.
Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
can give you media relations. I'm sure that's probably part of the. They probably have like calls. And
Well,
all that
they
stuff
always
during
cite
the-
some bogus case law of how they don't, they're not going to release information, or it's, the office, this goes in the officer's private personnel file and it's not public information, blah, 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 blah. So
there's certain things that's probably, I'm sure is public, because I'm sure at the time of this incident they're probably like different newscasts probably called and all that stuff. So
well, LAPD doesn't let anything like the media get in the way of obscuring information, so that they love to squash stuff until it suits them. Okay, can I get the phone number of media relations, please?
yeah, 213-486-5910.
Okay. And that would be a public information officer?
Correct.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
All right, bye. All right, we're going to call a PIO 213. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. 486-5910.
Media Relations Section, Officer Madison speaking. May I help you?
Hi, who am I speaking with?
This is Officer Madison. Who am I speaking
Madison. Hi, my name is Johnny Olson. I'm a journalist. I'm calling here from Los Angeles. I had a question for you. So I saw a video of an incident from November 18th of 2018 with Hollywood Division, where the suspect, they saw a black Range Rover with no plates. They tried to execute a traffic stop. It didn't happen. The Range Rover very gently tapped the car ahead of it, which the officers then, cited, airship supervisor, we have a hit and run. They followed him out onto the 101 freeway southbound right around Melrose. The gentleman exited the drive. There was a driver and a passenger. The driver exited the vehicle. Apparently he had a handgun in his hand. At no time did it look like he, from either the dash mounted camera or the body worn cameras of either the driver or passenger officer, did it look like he pointed the gun at the officer. The gentleman ran across 3 or 4 lanes. I'm not sure what the 101 northbound is there at Melrose. And the officer fired, the driving officer fired 4 rounds at the suspect into oncoming traffic on the freeway. I was just curious if LAPD has a policy of firing into oncoming traffic on a busy freeway with very or little no regard to the general public, and doesn't that seem like it would constitute a violation of basic firearms safety protocols? I'm just curious.
What I would do is I put everything you just said right there into an email so that I can push it up through my supervision. That's not something I would be able to either comment or talk about, obviously. That's something a little bit higher up than me. So what you need to do is formulate that into an email and send it to PIO at lapd.online. And I'll put that in front of my supervision, and they can maybe give you, some type of a response to your question.
Okay, because we're going. It's 3+ years since the incident in question, so I would think that you guys have no, because a lot of times you guys are like, oh, it's still under investigation, which I absolutely understand. I was just curious if there was any resolution on this. I mean, I know that the police often investigate themselves and find nothing wrong, and so I was just curious of what had happened in this incident in question. So.
Sounds good. Yeah,
great.
Just send the email to that email I gave you, and we'll go from there.
Great. Thanks so much.
Sure.
All right. Bye.
That's it. Thanks for watching the video, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks to everybody in the J50 fan. Memberships are available on the channel. Help financially support the channel. I want to thank all the members of the Johnny50.com website as well, where you see uncensored footage that you can't see on this YouTube channel. And thanks everybody for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.